Hi, boys and girls, and welcome to today's reading lesson. We're going to continue learning about text features. So let's read our I can statement first. I can know text features to locate facts in a text. So that means that you can remember and learn about and identify text features to learn about facts in a text, in a nonfiction text. So let's remember, what does fiction mean? Does that mean fake or does that mean real? Is that a fake story or real information? Very good. Fiction means fake or it's made up, just like the Very Cranky Bear, where we have a bear and animals that are talking. That's fake or made up. Now, what about nonfiction text? What's a nonfiction text? Is that fake or real? Very good. That's real. That's something that has facts that are true. So, for example, we're reading Hurricanes by Gail Gibbons, and that is true. Now, we're going to go over our sight words, and then we'll dive into our book. I'm going to show you a word, and I want you to say it with your whisper voice. Goes. Very good. Goes. Next. Last. Got. And away. Very good. Now, let's say it in our regular voice. Let's do it one more time. I'm going to mix it up. Next. Very good. Goes. Away. Good. Last. And got. Awesome. Great job, boys and girls. So we're going to review text features. So text features give us information in a nonfiction text. So in a text that is true or real, it has real facts in it, just like hurricanes. They make the text easier to understand. So here are some examples. We learned a lot of them yesterday. So these are just a few of them. A photograph is a text feature. An illustration or a photograph that shows more information about something that is real or true. Also, an index. This is at the beginning of a book that tells you where you can find things on what pages. We have a caption, so that is underneath a picture, and that will show you what the picture is about. That'll tell you more about what the picture is showing. Then we have bold text. So that just means text that is bigger or thicker, and that means that that bold word is important. Then we have a diagram which contains labels, which are also a text feature, and it shows how something works or how something is put together. So we are going to continue by reading the second half of hurricanes. So we were on Category 3. We learned about Category 3 hurricanes. We are going to continue on to Category 4 hurricanes. Category 4 hurricanes have wind speeds between 131 miles per hour and 155 miles per hour. There may be a storm surge up to 18 feet. That's a lot. The damage is devastating. Buildings suffer extreme damage. Roads and bridges are washed away. Boats are tossed like toys. So notice what the damage looks like in that picture. That's a text feature. The picture shows us more information about a topic. Category 5 hurricanes. Category 5 hurricanes have winds greater than 155 miles per hour. Winds have been recorded as high as 318 miles per hour. Storm surges may be greater than 18 feet. Notice here, I have something that gives a title to our paragraph that we are reading about. That is called a heading. So that tells us what we are going to be reading about in this paragraph. And we read about Category 5 hurricanes. Okay, there is massive flooding and destruction in Category 5 hurricanes. Take a look at that picture, how there's massive destruction. Hurricanes come ashore. Most hurricanes do their damage in the Caribbean along the Gulf Coast and the southeast coast of the United States. Most hurricanes are Category 1 or 2. Category 5 hurricanes are very rare and have reached land on average of about once every 5 years. So I want you to look at this page, and I want you to think, what text feature is shown on these two pages? That's right, a map is shown on these two pages. So this helps us better understand where hurricanes form on a map. just off of Florida. Notice here, many hurricanes form. So we see right there, it zooms in for us, just off of Florida near the Caribbean Sea. Some hurricanes throughout history. Galveston, September 8, 1900. In 1900, the biggest city in Texas was Galveston. On September 8, a huge hurricane struck. The storm surge was 20 feet high. That's huge. It totally destroyed the city, killing about 12,000 people. Scientists later classified it as a Category 5 hurricane. Hurricane Andrew, August 24th, 1992. After crossing the Bahamas, Hurricane Andrew hit Florida south of Miami with winds up to 195 miles per hour. At that time, it was the costliest hurricane in U.S. history. So that means that it caused the most damage. Most of the damage was done by fierce winds. That means really strong winds. Originally classified a Category 4 hurricane, it is reclassified as a Category 5. So I'm going to show you pictures of that. That is Galveston in 1900, and this is Andrew in 1992. Hurricane Katrina, August 2005. The most damaging hurricane in U.S. history was Hurricane Katrina. It started in the Bahamas, then crossed southern Florida as a Category 1 hurricane. On August 29th, it made its second landfall in New Orleans as a Category 5 hurricane. Storm surges resulted in flooding of 80% of New Orleans. More than 1 million people had to evacuate, and nearly 1,800 people lost their lives. Catastrophic damage, that means really bad damage, was done along the coastlines of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. So notice how much damage was done during that hurricane. I want you to look at this text feature right here. So we see a picture right here, and we see some words that tell us what we're looking at. So that is called a caption. So it says evacuate means to leave and seek safety in another place. So that shows us, the caption of this picture shows us what we're looking at. It teaches us more about the picture. Forecasting and tracking hurricanes. Meteorologists gather information about hurricanes from many sources. Satellites measure the size of a hurricane and can help tell how fast and in which direction the hurricane is moving. Airplanes are flown into hurricanes by pilot known as hurricane hunters. Special instruments on planes measure wind speeds, temperatures, air pressures, and the amount of moisture in clouds. An airplane passes through one side of a hurricane, then through the eye and out through the other side. So there are some hurricanes that go into hurricanes to see the temperature of it, wind speeds, air pressure. That's pretty crazy. All of the storm's details are gathered and fed into computers, which are pre-programmed with computer models of previous storms. This helps scientists make a new computer model that predicts the size and strength of the storm and what land may be in its path. Notice we have a lot of captions here that help us understand these pictures. A storm watch is a notice that tells people in a certain area that a hurricane might hit within 36 hours. One flag means storm watch. A hurricane warning is a notice telling people that a hurricane is likely hit within 24 hours. Two flags is a hurricane warning. These predictions help determine if an area will need to be evacuated. So that means if people need to get out of the area. When necessary, the National Hurricane Center will issue storm watches and hurricane warnings that are made public on radio and television. The U.S. Coast Guard raises the flags. In 1953, weather officials started naming hurricanes after women. The first storm of the season being given a woman's name beginning with the letter A. The second storm beginning with the letter B, and so on. In 1979, men's names started to be used as well. The names of some of the worst storms have been retired and will not be used again. Andrew and Katrina were two of these. So this gives us some steps when a hurricane is approaching. Notice this text feature, that's a heading. That's telling us what these paragraphs or this page will be about. There should be a plan to evacuate. Everyone should know the route. You're supposed to cover the windows of your house with plywood and prevent flying glass. Have a battery-powered radio. on hand to hear all alerts. Select a person outside the hurricane area who can inform other family members of your status. Pick up loose items in your yard and put them away. They can be dangerous in strong winds. Turn off the electricity to your house before you evacuate, and take care of your family pets. Make sure that you have water, non-perishable foods, that means foods that don't get old, flashlight, fresh batteries, first aid kit, battery-powered radio, and rainwear. So those are some steps on how you can make sure that you are prepared for a hurricane. So great job reading this story with me. We learned a lot of text features. Now we're going to look at a few text features in this magazine. So this is called the National Geographic Kids Magazine. I want you to look at this, and right here, I'm pointing right here. What is this text feature? That's right, that's a title. Very good. So that's our title. That tells us what magazine we're reading. Notice here I have something. It's at the very beginning of my book or my magazine, my text, and it tells me what pages I can find certain things. What would that be called? Very good. That's a table of contents. That tells us where we can find certain things. So say I wanted to learn about deadly cuties. I would turn to page 22. Now, what is this text feature? I see a photograph right here, and there is this right here. What is that called? And right here, it tells me what is that picture? It tells me more about that picture. Very good. That's a caption. It tells me more about the picture. Let's go over one more together. So right here, I have a page. And this tells me what my page is about. What would this be called? Very good. That's the heading. So this is the title, the very front of the magazine or the book, and that is the heading. So that tells us what a page is about or what a paragraph is going to be about. All right, we're going to do a quick review of some things. So I'm going to show you this. What is this? It's at the end of the book, and it tells us definitions of words, meanings of words that we read about. What is that called? That is called a glossary. Very good job. What about this one? It's a picture that tells you more about something that you're reading about. What is that? That's a photograph. Very good. What about this one? It has some words or a sentence that tells you more about the picture you're looking at. What's that called? Very good. That's a caption. What about this? It is either a drawing or a digital picture. Very good. That's called an illustration. So we had illustrations or drawings in this. It's still about something true. Just because it has illustrations does not mean that it is a fictional story. There are true nonfiction stories or books that have illustrations. But notice here in this nonfiction magazine, there are real pictures. Awesome. Very good. I'm going to move on and show you what you're going to be doing for Seesaw today. So you will have 5 different text features that you will match pictures from our book with. So I will do one for you, and I want you to do the rest. So notice right here, I have different labels that show how something works. And remember, just like last time, if you need to zoom in, if you need to make this picture bigger so you can see it bigger, you can zoom it, okay? You can make it bigger. So it has many different labels, and it shows me how something works or how something is put together. That is called a diagram. I am going to go through 1, 2, 3, 4 more of these pictures, and I'm going to make sure I put them in the correct boxes. When you're finished, you can click the check to turn it in. All right, I can't wait to see what you can do. We are looking forward to seeing your hard work. Keep up the great work. Bye, boys and girls.